Think about the last time someone wronged you. It could be something insignificant in the grand scheme of things, or something that may impact your life forever. Have you forgiven the person or people that wronged you? Is forgiveness something you want to give? Are there cases where you need to forgive someone but haven't?
I have. Well, there are cases that I haven't forgiven anyone on the things that I've done, but I should be more forgiven to others than not.
Forgiveness is something that I do want to give, although it's hard to give. So once we understand the process of us being forgiven by Christ, then I feel like it will be easier to forgive others. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult. Nonetheless, it's possible.
In general, I do, but there's times that everyone has a hard time with it, I think.
It was this amazing burden that just got lifted off of my shoulders, and I was like, wow, that's a great feeling to have. I should forgive more often.
This is a question Joseph, the son of Jacob, probably asked himself more than a few times. Jealous of their father's love for him, Joseph's brothers threw him in a pit and sold him into slavery in Egypt. Genesis 37:24. The very people that Joseph should have been able to trust betrayed him the most. Those closest to him became his greatest enemy. While Joseph rose in power in Egypt, becoming second in rank only to Pharaoh, his brothers were starving due to a famine in their homeland of Canaan. Genesis 41:56. When his brothers arrived in Egypt as refugees, seeking food and shelter, Joseph was presented with a choice. Does he try to get even with his brothers, or does he try to forgive them? Genesis 42:7. Of course, Joseph devises a masterful plan to see if his brothers had changed. Were they now loyal to their father, and how did they care about their younger brother Benjamin? Genesis 42:15. In the end, the very same brothers that sold Joseph into slavery remained loyal to their father and did everything they could to protect their youngest brother Benjamin. Judah even fell on his face and begged Joseph to take him as a slave to protect his father's beloved son Benjamin. The brothers had changed, so Joseph found it in his heart to forgive them. Weeping, Joseph revealed his true identity to his brothers and forgave them without any limitation. Do not be distressed, and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, he says, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant of the earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. Genesis 45:5-6. He doesn't gloat. He doesn't exact his revenge. Instead, he thanks God. Joseph forgave his family and praised God. In a similar situation, could you trust God to use the suffering in your life for good? Could you forgive Joseph's brothers?
I wouldn't forgive him.
Joseph did the right thing. He did test them. I would forgive them, but I'll bring them a little more hell than Joseph did. You know what I mean? Just a little bit.
Honestly, the only way I'd be able to forgive Joseph's brothers is if I had a close walk with God.
I don't think on my own. And I wonder when I read that story if he really did at first, like right away. I think God had a lot to do with that response.
The story of Joseph forgiving his brothers may be an extreme case, but the Bible illustrates the importance of letting go of pain and hate. Joseph's story even goes further and advocates we see a bigger picture than ourselves. We don't know the end from the beginning, but God does. Some things are undoubtedly the result of pure evil and have no redeeming quality, but tragedy can lead to blessing. Jesus' death on the cross was arguably the saddest event in the history of the universe, but the end result is our eternal salvation. There's a cosmic struggle going on, and only God knows the beginning from the end. Forgiveness, not revenge, allowed Joseph to save the Hebrew people that would one day give the world its Savior.